When Harry came back from the jungle back in December, it was something which him and I discussed, that whether or not he'd like to do some public speaking and to share his story with the rest of the world. And so this is a culmination of a lot of hard work from Harry putting this together and 5 years of extraordinary stories. So hopefully, I'm going to leave it straight over to you. All right, sounds good. So round of applause for Harry, please.
Okay, just check this works. If any of you don't know who I am, my name's Harry Turner. I'm 26 years old and I've struggled with depression for just over half my life. In this photo here is my mum, my dad, my grandma, my granddad and my great-granddad. And me crying about something, I don't know what. I was brought up in a lovely house, lovely household, lovely family. I had no complaints. I always had a roof over my head and I always had food on the table. And I don't know why I struggle with depression. I don't know why I do. It's just one of them things, but it wasn't because of my background, it wasn't because of my upbringing, it wasn't because of anything that my family or anyone ever did. It was just something that's in me. Like I say, my mum, my dad, everyone in my family has always supported me, always done everything they could to help me. And we travelled, we did loads of things, all the time, just constantly. I found my love for animals at a very young age. I just, for some reason, I don't know what it is, animals just made me happy. I just loved snakes, I just loved watching. Steve Irwin was one of my idols. I absolutely adored him, completely. And when he died, yeah, that was, quite tragic on me. But I believe that when I started feeling quite depressed in myself, it was when my grandma Joyce died. She was a massive part of my life, and I lost her. I lost a part of me. Something died when she died, and I don't know if something inside me was, kind of mourning, or, but after she died, I kind of went off the rails a little bit. I was quite good at judo, and I kind of stopped doing judo. I was quite good at, school, and I kind of just didn't want to go to school. So after I left school, I was smoking weed, and I was skateboarding, and I was going to parties, and I was just getting hammered. And I just didn't give a shit. I just didn't care about anything. So one day I sat on my bed and I felt absolutely just crap. I said to my dad, "Dad, I want you to, just tell me what I should do. What do I do? I don't know what I'm doing." And he said, "Why don't you join the Navy?" I said, "I'm not quit." He said, "No, why don't you just think about it and do it?" So 2 or 3 days later, I spoke to my mum. I said, "Mum, I think I'm going to join the army. I think that's what I should do." So I went to the recruitment centre, I signed up, and after that I was just running and running and running. I put a bin bag on me and I was running. I put weights on me and I was running. And I was just avoiding whatever was in my head, and I was just running. And I wanted to join the army. I wanted to do something. So I joined the army, and I left home 2 days after my 18th birthday. I did 6 months of training. I then went to battalion for just under a month, and then I went to war. I went to Opera at 16. And I thought, this is it. I know what I'm doing now. I'm a soldier. But then a few days in, 7 days in to my tour, I saw a man get shot in the head. And he was saying something to me, and he put his hand out and he was just talking to me. But he wasn't saying anything that I understood. He was just mumbling. And I thought, what am I doing here? I look like a child. I'm 18 years old. So these smiles on my faces, I'm just putting it on. I didn't know what I was doing there. Funny thing about me being in Afghanistan is that they messed up my tax. So I was actually getting paid £800 a month to be in a war zone. And I was thinking about this. I'd stay up all night on stag, and I'd be thinking, what am I doing this for? I'm getting paid absolutely nothing to be here. So I continued going on, I continued seeing stuff that I didn't want to see, I continued going out, doing my patrols, doing what I was meant to be doing in the military. Now, I went there to help the Afghan National Army and the Afghan National Police. I went there with my battalion to basically put orders in process. Okay, to help you get better with the Afghan National Army, this is what you have to do. With the Afghan National Police, this is what you have to do. Going through. And one day I was on a firing range with one of the Afghan National Police, and he turns his gun on me, and he points it straight in my head. And he says something, and the translator's trying to calm him down, and I just thought, what am I doing here? I don't belong here. So I'm with these people, and individually they're lovely, they're great people. The country itself is absolutely beautiful, but what was I doing there? We got called out at 4 o'clock in the morning, and an explosion had gone off, so I went out. I was on top cover, so I had my GPMB, and I just remember just seeing a load of people running about and not knowing what was going on. Everyone said, right, we're going to leave now. It's too dangerous, it's too risky. So we left, and 2 hours later, when the sun came up, we went out, and there was just blood everywhere in the sand. And I didn't know what to do. I couldn't breathe. And then all of a sudden, to my left, a kingfisher sat on the wall next to me. Blue, purple, oranges, the most amazing colours I had ever seen. And I looked around and I thought, right, I can see all that blood there. There was a person there that has died. But then there's you. And I was trying to, in my 18-year-old mind, think, how can I live here doing what I'm doing right now, and I just had to think about all the animals. Also, when I was in Afghanistan, someone had run over a hedgehog. So in Afghanistan, there's fox-eared hedgehogs. They're small little, like, kind of albino-looking things with big old ears. Someone ran over them. So I looked after 5 of these hedgehogs. After a few weeks, they got bigger, they got better. I just put them out, and they were back in the hole, and it was fine. But that was my love. That was my love, and I did these things, and I just remember thinking, right, okay, when I leave this place, I'm going to get a car. I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to, just go off. I'm just going to do what I want to do, and kind of stay in the military and do these things. And it's true what they say when you don't appreciate things until you're so close to death. And for a while, I was close to death, and I did appreciate things way more. So, after I left the army, after I left Afghanistan, I went on a skiing trip with the army, and I went out one night. I got absolutely wasted. I don't remember the next day. I just remember the padre coming up to me and saying, "You're not doing good, are you, son?" I said, "Who are you to tell me what? You're a man of God, and you're telling people that it's okay to kill people. I don't know where you stand." Anyway, I come back and I say to him a week later, I said, "I'm really sorry, I was really drunk, and the truth kind of came out. I don't really understand what you were doing." But he helped me get out of the army. It took a long process, it took me a year. But when I got out of the army, they gave me a payout, and with that payout, I went to Peru. I went to volunteer, and to be honest, I went there to kill myself, because I didn't want to be on this world anymore. I didn't want it. But then I saw so much beauty. I was catching snakes. I caught my first caiman. I caught my first smoked jungle frog. I helped the bird team get this bird out of some fishing line that was caught. I was just doing so many cool things, and this is a really, really crappy photo. I'm just going to move that now. This is a really, really crappy photo, but it's a very, very important photo to me, because this photo, I'd just been fishing, just caught maybe 3 or 4 little catfish. I had been coming back on this river. I'd been on this river maybe 3 or 4 times, just coming up and down. And the birds and the bats were transitioning. They were just flying in front of me. They were going to bed and the bats were coming out. And I took this photo because I could breathe. I could breathe again. I felt like the jungle was a part of me. I felt happy. So I went home after my month in Peru, and I got a job working on a farm with my friend Chris. And I basically just did some handiwork and helped out with the animals and had loads of fun. And then I went to Somerset Festival, and I saw Metallica, and I saw, Alice in Chains and Mastodon and so many other people, and it was amazing. I was just like loving what was happening. I'd gone to the jungle, I'd come back, and I thought I was fixed. But I wasn't fixed. I was just temporarily happy. And so after going into the jungle and seeing a few cool things and all that, I'd only spent a month there. I hadn't really put myself in it. So after a few months of being home and having a job and having all these, great things, I started to go downhill again. I started to feel absolute shit. Christmas came, New Year's came, I was arguing with the girl I was with at the time, I was just not happy. And then January 25th came, and I'm arguing with my girlfriend at the time, and I'm just saying, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be with you, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this shit that is called life and living, I don't want to do all these things. And then my phone rings. So I pick my phone up, and I say, what do you want? I don't know why I picked my phone up, but I was in an argument, I don't know why. I had a feeling I need to pick it up, so I picked it up. What do you want? Jack goes, how you doing? I say, I'm not doing good, mate. What about you? He says, I'm not doing good either. I said, all right, what? And he went, are you okay for me to talk to you? Like, is it? And I said, just tell me. And he says, Ollie King was on his way home last night and he got in a car crash. And he's dead. I said, okay. Didn't really know what to do, so I put the phone down. And I said to my girlfriend at the time, I said, get your stuff. Like, I'm going to take you home. I drove her home. And over the period of the next 2 or 3 weeks, I sold my television, I sold my clothes, I sold my car, I sold everything. And I booked a one-way ticket to go back to Peru. Because I was going to die in this place. And I went back and I found the beauty again. I found the beauty in these snakes. I found the beauty in the eyes of the frogs and the calls, and I managed to get my bearings within 2 or 3 months being in the jungle. I could hear a frog from so far away. I could spot a spider from so far away using eye shine, using sound, using smell. I could smell snakes, using, all of these senses. I could just sense all these animals around me. This photo was taken by my friend Gordon, and we were cutting trails, and I found this snake, and he took this photo, and I just remember being in one of the happiest places in my life at this moment. Now, with the happiness comes the crap. Now, I've had over 70 botflies. I've had to rip my toenail out 3 times. This is called a Waikungo spine. Now that has a venom on the end of the spine. I've had maybe over 50, 60 of them in my body. This here is a wandering spider, one of the most venomous spiders in the world, and that was in my boot. That was 10 days after I found this kind of lump on my leg. It's just a small little lump. I thought it was maybe a mosquito bite. And then 3 days later, it was bigger. And this is called leishmaniasis. So this is a skin-eating disease, and if you don't get it treated, then it goes into your nuclear system, so you get it in your nose, your throat. It's a bad disease. So to get this treated, I went to Lima for 21 days and I got heavy metal injections. And I said to Dr. Braulio, what are these injections going to do to me? He said, well, you're going to feel crappy. You know, you might have vomiting, sickness, like nausea, diarrhea. You might lose your hair. You might lose your vision. All these things. And I thought, oh, all right. So what do? Lose my nose and look like Voldemort, or, you know, risk it? So I did an experimental test and I got injected 21 days in a row with heavy metal injections. I had internal bleeding, so I had to stop on the 20th day because I couldn't stand. My kidney and liver were just absolutely shot. My veins, they couldn't put needles in my veins anymore because my veins were so scarred that the needle was bending as they were putting it into my arm. They were having to put it in between my fingers, and they were having to do all these crazy things just so that I could get better from this, which wasn't nice. So I left the jungle after that because my body was completely shot. I couldn't walk straight, I couldn't see straight, I was vomiting, smells were just making me nauseous. Anyway, I'm in America, and I'm with my girlfriend at the time, Sam, and then I go back to England, and then it comes back again, and then I have to go back to Lima to get a burn treatment, which was 8 minutes long, and the smell was outrageous, and it was just awful. So anyway, I go back to Peru after that, because why not? I love it, it's a place that makes me happy. And then we found Khan. And Khan was pretty sick. He was probably about 2 weeks old, and his eyes had just opened. I just remember hearing about the workers that coming back, and they said, oh, there's a baby jaguar in the local community. And this was about 8 o'clock at night. They would come back, they were drunk, drinking that black rum stuff. And so I said to Sam, we need to go there now. She said, we can't go there now because it's probably gone. I said, right, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting up, I'm driving that boat, I'm going up there, I'm going to speak to them, and I'm going to get that ocelot, or that jaguar, or whatever, because I didn't know what it was at the time. So we get up, 4 o'clock in the morning, I didn't sleep a single wink that night. I was waiting for 4 o'clock. I get there, I walk up to 18 men with guns and machetes, and Sam's with me, and my Spanish at the time isn't very good, so Sam's talking to these Peruvian guys, and I see this box in the middle of them. I said, do you mind if I go have a look at that box? I open up the box, and he's there, with this pink kind of string around his neck, in his own feces, just looking miserable. So I took him out and I gave him a hug, and I thought, I'm going to take a photo of this. So I took this photo, and after that, we were arguing with these people. They said, no, we're going to go into the black market, we're going to sell him, we're going to do this. I said, how did you get this cat? Oh, well, we're logging up river and we found it walking. I said, this cat isn't even old enough to walk. You think I'm dumb? You fucking killed this mum. You've taken everything that he has. He's going to die. I'm going to take him. Sam's like, Harry, calm down. I said, I'm not fucking calming down. This cat is going to die right now. We don't take him. So we took him. They weren't very happy with it, but we took him. And for the first 2 weeks, he slept in my hammock on my neck. One reason being is that he could feel my heartbeat on my neck. He could also feel my breathing, and also it was kind of the highest place, and I kind of just put my quilt over me so that then he could just be warm. And gradually we started going on walks, and I was feeding him on a little bit of milk, and I started feeding him on tuna, started giving him a mix of eggs and tuna and all these things. And then I'd catch mice and I'd kill them, and then when he started getting older, I would just unfortunately break the rat's legs and let it kind of just run about in agony while this cat was learning how to hunt. So I had to really, really I had to become this cat's mother. And so I did. I wanted to so badly. This was it. This is what I was going to do. I was going to put this animal back in the wild, and that was going to make me happy. Started going out with him. I started taking photos of him. I started filming him. I've got probably one of the only videos in the world of an ocelot killing a caiman, because one night it was pouring down for 3 days straight, pouring down very I couldn't see it. No snakes, no rats, no nothing. So I decided to walk the streams with calm. I found a caiman. So I picked it up. I said, look, there's a caiman here. Played about a bit. 10 minutes, he got bit right on the paw. And then he was very, very scared, didn't know what to do. It was like very kind of standoffish. So then I held its mouth, its caiman's mouth, and it was wriggling, and it was doing its thing, and then I let it go. And then for 5 minutes I watched him. And you see him maybe look like a pet in some of the videos that I've taken. I don't have any videos that come with me now. But when he kills that caiman, you see the wild in him come out. Like he was climbing up trees, he was doing amazing things, he was getting really, really, really aggressive. He was doing everything that he was meant to be doing. I decided to take out the tripod, take out my camera, and take a photo of me on this log. This is one of his favourite logs. Because I thought, he's getting wild. Like, I might not be able to get a photo of him like this soon. I remember calling Sam up and saying, hey, like, you know, within 2 months he's going to be a wild cat. Like, I'm psyched about this. Like, he's going to be wild. So one day I'm walking down the trail, and then I go off trail, and I come back, and I get onto the trail, and I hear Khan running off to my left, and then fucking bang. I checked my body all over. My ears were ringing. And he had triggered a poacher's sawn-off shotgun. I was checking my body. If I had been shot, and then the white noise of the gun turned into the white noise of the jungle. And I see Khan run off somewhere, but I thought I was in Afghanistan. So, at this moment in time, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where my son is. And all of a sudden I hear the slightest noise, slightest, saddest noise. And I say, fuck it, I'm going to go through. I remember walking off trail, I see this beautiful Amazon tree boa. And any other day I'd have stopped and I'd have admired that snake, but I didn't give a shit about that snake. I didn't care. I then carried on walking, but it was just thick. And I just remember getting on my hands and knees and crawling, and there was thorns all in my elbows, and there was thorns all in my knees. And I had the scratches across my face from where I was going to pull these thorns, and I see him. And I go over to him and I say, hey man, you alright? You okay? And he limps. And I say, come on man, you're alright, come here. And I pick him up, and his right arm is just hanging off. So I take my shirt off and I wrap him in it because I don't want him to hurt himself anymore. And I'm being smashed by these thorns and smashed by these mosquitoes. And I'm just thinking, fuck, what the fuck am I going to do? So I run to his enclosure, I put him in his enclosure, I run back, I get the satellite phone, I say, Sam, Khan has been shot, we need to do something, we need to get a car to Lucerne, the local community. I'm going to drive the boat down. Bear in mind, it's 11 o'clock at night, it's pitch black, I can't see anything on the river. I get him in a crate, I get him onto the boat, I'm driving, I can't see anything. I'm driving blind the whole way down, it takes me 2 hours. By the time I get to the community, I'm waiting now, I'm saying, come on, you'll be alright. The car arrives with 2 vets in it. The vets say, yeah, we'll take him back, we might have to amputate his arm, we might have to do this, we don't know what we're going to be doing. I'm in this car, and I'm in the back, I'm in the boot of this car, and I've got the driver, someone else, and 2 vets. And I have never seen two bicoloured porcupine in my life. But on this road, we got stopped by two bicoloured porcupines. So I get out and I'm like, just get out of the way. And then the driver's like, oh, Harry, you know, there's cows up ahead. And I'm in the middle of the cow field. So I get out and he beats his horn. I say, don't fucking beat the horn, man. Like, Khan is upset. Like, let's just do this. So I get out and I say, I don't care if I get kicked. And I'm like punching these cows out of the way. And the car is just following behind. And I'm just punching these cows and I'm pushing these cows. And then this baby cow just comes up to me and I'm like, look, I'm not going to get you, mate. But fuck off. Pushing these cows. And it took me 10 minutes to get out in between the cows. We get to town. Now, after he'd been shot, this has been about 10 hours. And I tried my best to tourniquet his leg. I just remember ringing my dad on Wi-Fi. He was at a judo competition with my little brother. I said, I don't know what to do. If I amputate his leg, he's going to get dead. If I put him down, he's dead. If I wait, he's going to die. And then he bit onto my finger. And he died. So I took him back and I buried him. And I went back to America because Sam needed my support, I guess. And then I went back to England and I said, fuck this. I'm going to run again. So I packed my bags one more time, said goodbye to my little brother, said goodbye to my mum and dad, and I went to Australia. Now, I travelled a lot. I did 6 months in Australia. Travelled so much. I saw so many cool things and so many cool people. I met up with cool people. I met up with Millie out there. I caught frillneck lizards. I saw water buffalo. I saw dingoes. I saw echidnas. I saw kangaroos and wallabies and of course, I caught snakes. That's the only reason I travel anymore. I go to catch snakes, and if an animal needs my help, then I help it. So I caught maybe 40 different species. I caught death adders. I was just doing things I wanted to do. I was swimming in water, which I didn't know if there was a saltwater croc in, but I didn't care. I was just doing things. Now I'm smiling, but that's a beautiful olive python, but something was missing. Something was not right. I was running again, and I was running and running and running. Now, I put myself at risk in this place because I wasn't thinking properly. Day, I would travel. I would see beautiful places. Now, this is in Sydney. This is up in Island Land. This is just Aboriginal artwork that I found whilst looking for dingoes. Night time, the sun would go down, and it was beautiful. But I couldn't stay there for that long. Something was tickling at me. Something was like, you need to go back to the jungle. You need to go back. So I flew back to England and said hello to everyone because I'd been away for quite a while. And then I flew back to Peru. Now I was doing some work and I was seeing family and friends and I was hanging out, doing whatever I wanted to do. Flew to Peru. I was guiding groups and doing cool things and catching cool snakes. And then 16 days before I was about to fly back to England, I had this plan. I was going to go and work with one of my friends as an apprenticeship as a tattoo artist. I was going to, live in Ipswich. I was going to come back and, see my family and friends and do some really cool things. 16 days before that, Keanu rocked up. So I wasted money on a flight, but I don't care. I seriously did not care. And he was so sick. He was so sick. This is a parasite that was in his vomit. Now, he had so many parasites inside him that he was vomiting them and he was pooing them and he could not to keep any liquids down. So I did everything I could to make sure that he was going to be okay. He pooed all over my pillows and my blankets and my bed and me and my hair. He vomited 4 or 5 times during the night, but I kept him with me. Now, he was so young that he hadn't really opened his eyes at this point. He was blind to the world, and the only thing he knew was mine and Sam's love. If I needed to get 3 or 4 hours sleep, it was with Sam. If Sam needed to get 3 or 4 hours sleep, it was me. And for the first month, it was just that way. We needed to make sure that he was okay. He was sleeping a lot, but that's good because he was getting better. Hopefully this video works. It doesn't really matter if there's no sound this time. So Keanu was getting better. Now we'd also rescued a monkey called Max. Ooh. Not the best. What are you doing, man? Anyway, we rescued a monkey called Max, and they basically played about and got to a point when Kiana's about 2 months old, and I was like, right, I'm gonna have to separate you because Max is gonna eat dinner. They had a great friendship. Unfortunately, I'll play the video later on my laptop if anyone wants to see it. I've got a few videos as well. But yeah, in the jungle we don't really use technology, so I'm not really savvy in this kind of area. But he got to a stage where he was getting older, he was getting good, he was healthy, he was happy, he was doing things in the jungle which, were cat things. He was getting better. If these videos work, they're great, if they don't, but... So he was learning how to hunt, and he was catching little mice off them, and he was bringing them up to me. I'm not gonna work. Well, kind of good stop there. Anyway, he was catching mice, he was catching rats, he was catching snakes, and he was bringing them to me. I looked down and and I was proud, I was doing calm some justice after he died. I said to him that I wanted to make sure that he was going to be remembered. And I believe that Keanu was a way of making sure that Calm would always be remembered. Because now I was able to put what I've learned from Calm into what I was learning with Keanu. And I had teachers in school which were okay, and I had teachers in school which were terrible. None of them teachers ever taught me the amount of knowledge that I know that these cats did. Now, I'm meant to be their parent, but they taught me more than I'd ever know about the jungle, about the wild, about everything. Because wild animals have that internal compass, have that kind of knowledge, have everything. Even when they're 4 months old, they know stuff. I'm just going to skip through this. Anyway, there was a wandering spider in my boot earlier. And I was going to tell you about the wandering spider in them videos because Keanu actually got bit on the face by a wandering spider. Now he was just walking and then bang, bang, bang. And then this wandering spider. And he was fine for 10 minutes. And then I turned around and he was paralyzed. And I thought, no, not him. I was so scared for him because I don't know how a cat deals with toxicity from one of the world's most venomous spiders. He couldn't move. I tried standing him up, I had to pick him up and put him on my shoulders and couldn't do anything. But 2-3 hours passed, I watched him all night and he got better. And he became a joker again about 10 hours after it happened. So it was great. But the problem with me living in the jungle was once again my mental health. I had to live by myself. I didn't speak to people for quite a long time. I was just with a cat, and the conversations you can have with a wild cat don't go very far because you're just talking to yourself. And I just couldn't, it was tough. It was a tough life, but I was doing it. I gave myself little goals. I said, right, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to do this. And I set myself little goals. Usually, half the time, they wouldn't work out because dealing with a wild cat, there was one time he just went missing for like 2 days, just ran away. I thought, here we go. He's either jaguar food, human food, all these things. Dead. But he came back. And that was part of the wilding. And that was part of the learning that I had to experience. If this video works, then rad, but if it doesn't, whatever. Anyway, part of me dealing with myself in the jungle, having to help myself mentally.
On said cut tree. Keanu will now help me demonstrate.
By the way, I was losing my mind in this video, if you haven't noticed already. So he helped me work out, and we hung out. And he kind of had fun, I think. He never really gave me any negative feedback. By the way, he's like 2 kilos in this video. So I had to make myself laugh. I was by myself a lot of the time. I had to make myself laugh. I had to do things which I think that I would find funny in the future. So I made little videos like these because it was hilarious.
The ocelot working.
And by the way, why my hair is really bad is because I kind of had a Britney Spears moment when Keanu came into my life and I thought, oh no, what I'm going to do is 2 years of my life, so I just shaved my head. And so my hair is pretty bad. But later on, he becomes, so you can see in this photo here, these little brown ones. Now, ocelots, they have bluey grey eyes until they're about 4 months old, and they start to change their eye colour. Ocelots also have white tips around their eyes, and that's so that when they're walking at night, the light from the moon or whatever light they can get is actually amplified by the white around their eyes. They also have white on the tips of their ears, and I didn't know this because I didn't have the internet, but I figured out that he was telling me which way he was going when we were walking in the jungle by flicking his ear right to go right, flicking his ear left to go left. He would also flick his ears forward if there was an animal up ahead, and then he'd flick where he was going to go. So what I ended up doing was I ended up going the opposite way of what he would go, because he would tell me. The rat would be like, oh, there's a weird object there. I've never seen one of them before, and run into him, and then he would catch the rat. And we worked together. We did crazy things. I remember finding out so much about the jungle. Like, he would go up to an armadillo hole, and he would hang out at this armadillo hole for a little bit. And the armadillo would come out, and the armadillo and him were friends, and they would kind of like say hello, and then Keanu would run after him, and he'd bugger off, and then he'd go into his hole, and then he'd chase after a rat that was in there, and then the armadillo and him would meet up. I've seen so many armadillos because of Keanu and fun. Also, which is amazing for me, is that he would find me coral snakes maybe every 10 days. So I'd be out walking and just walking past so much stuff. You get so sidetracked with your own mind, with everything that's around. And then I turn around and there we go, you've got a snake in his mouth. Usually the coral snakes, which are very, very venomous, I was petrified at. So there was this one time I've got Keanu by the scruff, and I've got this coral snake here, and I'm kind of dancing about with my camera and bag attached to me, and I'm like, what do I do here? So I kind of put the coral snake down, run over there, drop Keanu off, and then run back and make sure that he doesn't get the coral snake. And it was dangerous. He put me in so many dangerous circumstances. if I got bit by that snake like 10 hours away, that snake can kill me. Like coral snakes, yeah, they can kill you in maybe 24 hours. They break down your respiratory. They mess with your, breathing. So maybe not a coral snake would have killed me, but I was playing about with other venomous snakes, other dangerous things. I have had 4 trees almost fall on me and kill me. Because you don't really think about it, really, but trees are falling and growing all the time. And walking in the jungle at night time, the wind starts to blow, it's picking up a little bit. Right behind me falls a 40-foot tree, 50-foot tree. Sometimes these trees are half the size of this room. They're absolutely massive. And I knew when something was going to go wrong because I wouldn't see them cats. There we go, they knew. So, he became successful. I can happily say that Keanu is a successful ocelot in the wild because I'm here now. His beauty will carry on, camera trap footage, and people in the field messaging me on satellite phone tell me they're giving me updates regularly. But he is now successful and absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. And yeah, I accomplished that. I did that. Now, what's next? I've raised 2 cats. One died, unfortunately. The other one is successful in the wild. What am I doing now? Well, I am going to be working in England for the next few months. I'm going to be going off to do, a few other bits and pieces around the world. I don't really know where yet. But at the same time of that, there's a project ongoing called Raising Calm. Now, this is a documentary that we're making, me and my filmmakers, Melissa Lesh and Trevor Frost. We're making this film, and it's because Calm, he died, and I want him to be remembered. Now, the reason that I'm doing these talks and I get emotional about them is because he's a massive part of my life and I love him to pieces, even though he's gone. Keanu is a massive part of my life and I love him to pieces, but I'm a parent. I've had to leave my child. I want everyone around the world to know what an ocelot is, because you'll be surprised how many people don't know what an ocelot is. I want everyone around the world to see the effort that me and Sam have put into raising these cats. I want everyone around the world to think about deforestation, because it's not a subject that you can just talk about and leave. Like, we are destroying this planet. Every single one of us, contributes to it. We don't necessarily want to, but we all arrived here today on a train or on a car or in an Uber, like 20 minutes, and like all of these things. We're destroying this world, but with this documentary, we want to bring in, why do people go through situations in their lives which kind of make them who they are? Why does mental health play a role in what we do with our lives? Now, this photo was put on National Geographic by Trevor Frost, and it got quite a few likes. It brought my following up quite a bit, and through this photo, I have managed to kind of educate people on ocelots, educate people on snakes. People message me all the time questions about snakes or about ocelots or about these things. I love that. I want people to ask me questions. I want to help people. I want that kind of thing. But the film is going to do this, and that's why I'm very confident that when this film is released, either at the beginning of next year or beginning of 2022, we're not really sure yet. I want that film to be, a massive success, and it's all because of Calm. I wouldn't have really gone back to Peru if it wasn't for Calm. I don't know where I'd have been because of him. And because of Calm, Keanu is now back in the wild. And that is the end of my talk.